Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Freaky Fast Broadcasting. As tonight, we are here with the BRB Racing League here at Dover Motor Speedway, where we're going to run around here at Dover, known as the Concrete, the Monster Mile, you name it. It's going to be a fun race here as we are going to get ready to run 175 laps with these guys here. So we'll see how this all plays out, as right now in practice, Isaiah Southern puts down the fastest lap there, as you see. But my name is Robert A. Moyer Jr. Zach Hall will hopefully be joining us here very shortly. And tonight, as we bring back an old gentleman that we used to have up in the Freaky Fast booth, Hunter Hayward is going to be joining us for the next couple weeks. And Hunter, how you been doing? And are you ready for some Monster Mile?
Well, thank you, Robert. I'm glad to be back. I'm excited to be joining you guys for Freaky Fast for these next couple of weeks. It's been a minute, so 3 years has been a long time coming. I'm excited to be back in the booth with you guys, but more importantly, we got a big race today over in the Monster Mile in Dover. It's going to be an incredible race. 175 miles today. This is a very treacherous and difficult track to master, especially in these next-gen cars. Even though this track looks almost exactly the same at both corners, I can assure you that both corners are completely different, how they're driven and how the drivers will attack them. You're going to find multiple groove racing on both sides, or both corners of the track. It's going to be a really fun race today. Robert, I'm really looking forward to it. I want to see how fast these cars are and how loose they're going to be on exit, because this is a very treacherous track where cars can be sliding in and out of the corners.
That it can be, as you know, we're looking at about the lap times down into 22.6s. Some guys are going to hit the 22.5s, and some are going to hit the 22.3s for a fast lap. But we'll see that in 7 minutes here as we get ready to finish up practice here tonight. But yeah, Hunter, man, it's going to be a fun race, and you're absolutely right. This track is different in each corner, and now with the iRacing update that they just previously brought out, very interesting to see how these cars handle. It's going to be a lot of the grease, dirty air that they're calling it right now, trying to save tires at a place that is known to chew up tires. Now we have a new tire model that you really got to take care of. So now how does that all, play into that factor here tonight, on how far can you go in them tires until, you pop one of them and you wind up hitting the wall.
Definitely known for hitting tires like crazy. Hence the name why it was called Monster Mile. So this track is very, very difficult to master with this car. And
reconnect your Discord there, so Hunter. We got Hunter there. Sounding like a robot there as his internet was going nuts. Which we're just having internet problems all around the world here with these Texas storms that hit everything down south there. Thoughts and prayers to all them people down there. Up here on the East Coast has not been any better. Internet is in and out all over the place up here on the East Coast. But yeah, it's just been brutal with the weather here. So hopefully, your connection cleared up there, Hunter. Unfortunately, Hunter, what I would do is disconnect your Discord and hop back in there, sir. As we're getting ready to finish up qualifying, and you gotta love the internet, everybody. The internet is the internet, and this is what this is based off of. But yes, so we'll see here as everything gets ready to rock and roll here tonight at Dover International Speedway. And it's gonna be fun to see how these guys take care of all this stuff. As we'll get everything rolling here very shortly. And if you give me a minute, it's actually all right. As we got 4 minutes left to go here, let's keep the ball rolling here, ladies and gentlemen, as we are going to get ready to check out the schedule here of what we previous ran. We can show that right now here. As you can see, we're at Daytona International Speedway, Texas Motorsport Legacy version. Then we went to the Iowa Speedway, and then we were at Michigan, and then we were at the Circuit of America, the West Course, which is what they're calling it here in iRacing. And then we headed in June 17th. We headed to Bristol Motor Speedway, and then June 24th we had the Kansas Speedway, and then last week we were at Charlotte Motor Speedway, where Dustin Stallings brought home the win. So if you look at this, at the wins here, it's very interesting to see that Dustin Stallings now's got 2 wins. We also got, see here, Gavin Rogers still with 2 wins. Richard Wolfeser with a win there at Michigan. So, yeah, we'll see what anybody can do here tonight. See if we can get a different winner or exactly the same winner as... Does your Discord sound good now there, Hunter?
I certainly hope so, sir. I don't want to leave you here by yourself.
Nope, you sound good right now. Gotta love the internet.
Yeah, no kidding. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, these races these past few weeks have been looking really good between this league. I'm really looking forward to what they can show out here at Dover. This is definitely gonna be a challenge for every single one of the drivers, even the previous winners. Let's see if they can go in here and prove themselves at a difficult track like this by saying, "Hey, I deserve to be up front. I deserve to be a race winner. I want to fight for that championship."
That is true. Yep, the fight is on for a championship, as we do bring up now the standings here. And we can see here in the standings right now, we got Dustin Stallings right now leading the way over Kyle Heath right now. And then you got the, let's see here, Southern in 4th, Christian Barnes there in 5th, Dylan Yeager right now in 6th. You got Johnny Wood moving himself, he actually moved himself up. No, he moved himself down 3 positions from last week. Brendan Maddox is still there in 8th position. Richard Wolfeser dropped to 2 position. Gray Walker is still running, still in 10th, and Zachary in that 55 is still in 11th position. Dakota Camper moved up 9 positions, with Sam Dyer still in 13th position, trying to make the cutoff line. We'll see if he does it with a couple more races to go here before Pit Stop TV takes over. But yeah, this is the way the standings are looking right now here, Hunter, and it's getting very tight, very interesting.
Yeah, a few names that really stick out to me. Obviously, our points leader, Dustin Stallings. He's 2nd place right now on the practice leaderboard. He's set a pretty dang good fast lap right now. Actually just dropped the 3rd, but he's leading by a good, comfortable amount. I mean, 352 points compared to 2nd place's 305 is definitely a big gap, and I think Dustin Stallings is going to capitalize off that by staying up front, keeping his nose clean this entire race, and trying to hold that points lead and try to make it maybe even bigger. Kyle Heath in 2nd. He is winless so far. I've raced with him in the past in many different leagues. I know Kyle Heath is an incredible driver. He's also really good on concrete tracks, so I would definitely keep an eye out for him, as well as Isaiah Sutherland, who I've been told is the concrete king. Mm-hmm. He's a guy who really knows how to show up and really ball out when it comes to concrete tracks. So please keep an eye on those 3 drivers. The big names that are trying to fight for a win here. A lot of people, maybe even in the back, who are really trying to fight for their names. I mean, that cutoff line is really dang close. Sam Dyer, I know, is really trying to fight his way into the playoffs. So this might be a really, really interesting race with how it turns out.
Well, that's it, too. You know, we go all the way back to 16th position here. You know, you got Braxton Skinner there, 200 points. He's moved up a little bit. So, you got Hughes down here in 200 points. That's a driver that we know can, make the playoffs. He has before. Coulter Clark is fighting right now to try to make it into the playoffs. And what really makes it very interesting, as practice is coming to an end, we will talk about it later, but as practice comes to an end, we're going to get ready to see who's going to, put down that fastest lap here tonight, during practice, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome again. Hopefully the internet gods are going to help us out tonight with Zach out there in chat, YouTube. Thank you, Zach. Yeah, hopefully the gods help us, and we can get you up here in the booth here, as we're going to ride along here with the that number 98 Next Level Motorsports machine here, and see what he can put down here in qualifying. The fastest lap now with these new tires is, I have to say, it's gonna be, probably the first lap, but we'll see if the second lap actually, they run faster there, Hunter, or not.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a 5-minute qualifying session here, only 2 laps, so these drivers can pedal to the metal for both these laps. I would expect to see these drivers drive completely differently during this qualifying session when they're on the racetrack during the actual race. And a lot of things I honestly don't tend to look at are practice times. And I only say that because when I was racing in sessions with other drivers, drivers would go in there and they would drive to their absolute limit, but they knew that they wouldn't have any damages to their car or damages to their time because they could just reset and do it again. As we see some issues here at the 98.
I was just ready to say there, as you were talking, what he tried to do is stop so it wouldn't count the lap, and unfortunately he slid across the start-finish line.
Oh, no. I think he just reset there. I think he's like, you know what, we're just going to start in the back here. But yeah, as you see these drivers, it's almost completely different with how these corners. Oh, man, 7.5 killed the wall as well. But these cars will be driven to their absolute limit, as you saw here. It looks like this track is more tight off of 3 and 4. I've seen it where it's been super loose off of 3 and 4. But I think with the certain weather, how the car is set up and everything, these drivers are going to be dealing with a lot of tightness coming off of each corner. So keep an eye out for that when it comes to the race. But, man, these drivers are driving this car to the absolute limit.
Well, that's it. We're going to look at the temperature right now of qualifying. It's 77 degrees with track temperature 89, but that wind, Hunter, is up to 12 miles per hour southwest. So, that right there is just going to throw that car all over the place.
Absolutely, and it can change from one corner to the next. You could drive one corner expecting something, and the wind tells you something completely different. So these drivers might just have to roll the dice here and see what they can do. Right now we have, I believe, Isaiah Sutherland on the top of the board. Yes, sir, 24 of Isaiah Sutherland right now, right behind Dustin Stallings, 2 drivers who really just love to be up front and battle with each other week in and week out. Like we said earlier, Isaiah Sutherland, the concrete king, he's definitely putting his statement out there and saying, hey, listen, I want to win this race. I truly am the concrete king.
Oh, yeah, we'll see what he can do as Dustin Stallings now finishes off his qualifying lap. As we jump on here with Scott Fritz of that 48 machine, go ahead and get your shout outs there real quick, Hunter.
Yeah, I got to say it. Watching that 48 fly around the track right now is incredible. I grew up a massive Jimmy Johnson fan. I even warned Robert before we started this podcast. I'm sorry if I bring him up too many times, but man, growing up watching Jimmy Johnson absolutely fly around this track and win what felt like every single time they were at Dover is a great feeling. And watching that 48 and that 48 font, that yellow numbers makes me feel good. It makes me feel like watching Jimmy Johnson again. I had to say it, Robert. He's just a hero of mine.
Well, I don't blame you. All the championships that guy has won for Hendrick, and just the way he used to dominate Dover back in the day. He was Dover King, in my opinion. When I come to this track and watch it in real life, he was the king. But we can see Dylan right there hit the wall, but he's going to be in P3. So yeah, he might hit the wall. I'm just seeing a lot of different things happening here in qualifying, which is kind of shocking. Which is going to tell us, with a minute to go, what this racetrack's going to be like as we get ready for qualifying here very shortly.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I mentioned earlier, I truly think that these drivers are going into qualifying with just, hey, drive this car to the absolute limit and see what we can do, get the best time we can put down. I really think these drivers are going to test their racecraft completely different. I think they're going to back up the corners a lot more. I think they're going to be a lot easier coming onto the throttle on the exit because this track will absolutely eat up your right side tires. And if you lose turn at a track like this, you're going to be kissing that wall on both the exits of 2 and 4. So I really think that these drivers are going to play it safe. Now, knowing Dover, a wrench is thrown into it just knowing it's the Monster Mile. But side-by-side racing will be hectic, and I'm interested to see how these drivers really treat the race.
That is true. Well, let's see here if I can bring this up here as I hit the wrong button. But we want to say thank you to the KC Athletics for sponsoring tonight's race here at Dover International Speedway, as it is the 250 at Dover. 175 laps. Stages are going to be at lap 45, stage 2 at lap 90, and then we finalize it at 175 laps for a race winner. So thank you for them for sponsoring tonight's race. But all right, well, here we go. Starting grid is going to start here, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't know if you remember how to do this, Hunter, but we are going to start with the top 10 here tonight, as Southern is going to put it down on the pole with Stallings there in second. Starting P3rd is going to be Dylan there in the 42, and then we got Dakota Camper there in P4 with Johnny Wood Jr. and P5 with Kyle Heath. Looking out for him tonight, starting in P6. Zachary Brandvold is going to start P7 with Christian Barnes starting P8 with Brendan Maddox in that number 23 starting 9th. And rounding out your top 10 is going to be Eric Jensen in that number 88.
Yeah, and starting in our sixth row here tonight will be the 56 of Richard. Ooh, I'm sorry if I messed up your last name here. Walsifer. Okay, Walsifer. In P12 we have Ronnie Osmer. In our P13 we'll have Sam Dyer in the 35. Our short-time broadcaster, also driver over here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. In P14 we will have Matthew Selby. P15 is Cameron Gilmore in the number 10. Number 51, Zachary King will be starting in 16th position. And the starting 17th will be the 33 of Braxton Skinner, and rounding out our top 19 here will be the 6 of Andrew Rattel.
All right, as we look at Jared Parrott, Joshua, sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing, is going to be starting P19th with Braden Van. I'm not going to say his last name, so I'll mess it up. P20th, Zachary Maddox. P22nd, Evan is at 81 there, so going to start 22nd. 23rd is going to go to Hughes, which we've seen mess up his qualifying. And then Caden in the 19 with Scott Fritz, P25th. Gray Walker in P26. And I do believe that is it, as the last two drivers are going to be administrators in tonight's race. So that is going to be your starting lineup here tonight as we're getting ready to go green flag racing, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and I would expect to see aggressive driving into 1 and 2, and then kind of single fine laying back into 3 and 4. I think these drivers really know how treacherous it can be with tire conditions and how crazy it can be with how these tires fall off quickly. So I think these drivers want to take care of themselves first, kind of just lay back, get into the racing groove, and see how things go from there.
That is correct. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to go freaky fast, freaky green, and freaky nuts here at Dover Motor Speedway here with the BRB Racing League, as we're going to get ready to wait to go green. Well, I got so excited there, Hunter, that they're just going to go around another lap.
Yeah, it looks like it. I think these drivers are trying to get EOL situated with drivers being sent to the rear of the field, and I think that Dover is such a short track from where they're finally all able to get on the track that they just said, you know what, let's send it one more time around. I know you guys are hyped up, I know you're anticipated, but we're going to wait one more mile.
Well, that is true. I wish I would have known that, but that's fine. I just got excited to go freaky fast, freaky green, freaky nuts, you know, like we always do here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Right. Oh, well, that's right. It is what it is.
Just as fired up as the drivers. I love it. That's the passion we want in the commentator. But, yeah, I'm excited to see how these guys are going. Isaiah Sutherland, he's an incredible driver who's able to be really quick in practice and really quick on the racetrack. Like I was told, he's the concrete king, so let's see if he can put his money where his mouth is and really show up today.
Well, I don't think his money where his mouth is. Andrew gave him that at Pit Stop TV, called him the concrete king, and he didn't even know it. So, yeah, it is what it is. But he does win on concretes, and he has proven that in the past. As we're getting ready to go green flag racing now, ladies and gentlemen, green flag is out. Boogity, boogity, boogie, let's go racing, boys.
he's at 00 coming out to a quick start. He's on the outside already of the 24, but the 24 is not. He's not able to clear that 24 just yet. Now they're going side by side with the 24. These drivers are already being aggressive. Let's see how they can do it in 3 and 4. Looks like they're going to.
Oh, no,
we got 24 sliding. He saves it. No,
he doesn't.
Wall.
Oh man, we did the commentator curse. I blame it on Hunter already.
Yeah, that's got to be. I got to bite my words with that one. Oh my goodness.
Oh wow, that is unfortunately didn't even make one lap. The guy that put it up there on the pole, and unfortunately is gonna spin it around. And we actually seen that live. We don't even have to go back on a replay. The thing just stepped out on him, and I thought he was actually gonna save it there, Hunter, but unfortunately he didn't.
I did as well. I think he had his wheel turned to the right, and when he stepped out of the gas pedal, the car just caught and went straight into the outside fence. Man, that's a tough break for our pole position winner here in the 24 car. The damage doesn't look as bad as it could be. He definitely took a pretty hard lick to that outside wall, but he's in the back of the field in the pace laps. Let's see. He will go down to pit road, but man, that's a tough break for that 24 machine.
That it is, and they got rid of the fast repair last season, so he's gonna have to go in and deal with that damage, get it fixed. But I like you said, I wouldn't worry about it too much. These cars can take a beating to a point, so he should be able to go in there and get this thing fixed and learn really quick what not to do. I'm sure he looking at his data going, what did I do wrong that time? And it just slipped out from underneath him. Unfortunately, the back end kicked, and when he tried to catch it, it grabbed there on the left front and just shot him right into the wall. And these cars are known to do that too. So, hopefully we don't see that too much here tonight. But I do know, I know you don't know what the the penalty systems are running here, Hunter. So, but the first caution that he gets on him. He don't have to claim it, but he's gonna get not a drive-through penalty for that. So he's gonna have to do a drive-through. So he is gonna go one lap down if he does come out, which the admins might just look at this because he's still sitting in pit road, I do believe. Yeah, so he's already going a lap down. You really don't even gotta penalize him, for that. But these guys also got the choose rule too. You can go high or low there, as you can see, Hunter. And as of tonight, anybody out there watching, as of tonight, they've went to the restart rule in iRacing. The leader must maintain the pace and start in the restart zone. If they do not, if they jump the start, they will get black flagged. The black flag will not be cleared because iRacing black flagged you. So you can't lay back, you can't jump forward, you can't jump to start. You go in the restart zone, which hopefully this, fixes the problems that they were having, Hunter, where under pacing there was too many gaps going back and forth under pacing, going back green, not tightening up the field. So they've been working on trying to get that issue fixed here with the league. So hopefully this part will fix it, as this is going to be the first time these guys are going to be using it here tonight as we get ready to go back green. And I do believe they still call it here the Geico restart zone, or is it that? What is it now? No, it's not the Geico.
Echo Park.
Echo Park, so whatever. Why do they gotta change names? The Echo Park restart zone. That sounds so stupid.
Yeah, it looks like we had the outside lane with a lot of tire spin on that restart there. The 42 at Dylan Yeager drops out to a pretty quick and easy lead there. And Zach, I was looking back at the replay, or I'm sorry, Robert, I was looking back at the replay there earlier, and it looked like the 24 kind of went over a hump that just stalled out his car, and it just sent him right around. But I don't know if many people noticed, he did clip the leader of the 00, and it sent him on the outside fence. It looks like his car is doing just fine. He's right now in P3, just a second back from the 42. But, man, that 42 is ripping it. He's already pulled out a substantial gap, almost a second to the second-place car of Dakota Camper.
Yeah, Dakota Camper, about a second and a half, about a second there. But, he's backing off now, too. What's happening to the 42? Wow, we have a lot of moving parts going on here right now here tonight, as looks like the 42 got a black flag. Oh, he got black flag for that restart, I do believe. He got hit by that new restart rule.
He did, and he tried to enter pit road there and just completely missed the exit, or the entrance of pit road. We see a caution flying now, but looking back at the 42, he tried to serve a drive-through penalty, and he just completely missed the entrance and got sent all the way back to the field, and will still have the service penalty.
He'll have to, well, I think he was in pit road when that yellow came out. I don't know. We'll see if the admins clear that or not. Not sure, but I am not even sure where that yellow came out from. It looks like we got the 75 with some damage. Something happened to the 75. We'll go back here. Let's see if we can go to the blimp view and see exactly. 75's down low. I don't know if something happened to him as he's coming down into pit road. Nope, it's not the 75. Southern's coming down pit road. I don't know where that yellow came out, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not seeing it.
I'm trying to search as well. I can't seem to find anything there. All I know is that it's I think the 42 completely jumped the restart there, and I think that's why we had such a bunch of drivers completely stacking up on the restart there originally, while the outside line just had nowhere to go. I'm not sure if the caution's coming out for that reason. I can't find any incident on track. Maybe debris.
Well, iRacing don't throw yellows for debris, so we do know that's not a factor. But there goes to 42, and he's just hitting right when this yellow comes out. And oh, it's right there it is, right there it is. It looks like the 14. Zachary Maddox looks like he spun around as we finally found the incident. As we'll see right now, Zachary Maddox coming out, going down the backstretch. We'll see exactly what happens as it looks like he's got the 88 right behind him. And, oh, nope, steps out. Oh, and the 88 gets into him as he was stepping out. And both were involved. So, ow, I'm not sure. It looks like that would be probably on Maddox for spinning out. So, but... well, we'll go back live as you see Maddox now pulling out of pit road. As Dakota Camper 10 laps into it already, and we got 2 yellows. And, yeah, I just think we're going to be in for a barn burner here tonight, Hunter. And hopefully the track calms down, the drivers calm down, and race the track and not the car. I think is what we need to do here tonight, but that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. These drivers are definitely coming in pretty aggressive. It's been side-by-side racing almost the entire time, as well as these drivers are just driving in deep, back end kicks out, and it spins them right around. So it's very loose on entrance, what I'm seeing, and very tight on exit. 2 things drivers do not want to see when they're driving a car, and it's definitely shown so far. I think these drivers are fighting their hardest to each position, but man, this is not the way I was expecting it to go. We had the 24 go around super early, and then we had a couple cars wrecking as well. 42 sent all the way to the back for a restart violation. So it's been an interesting 11 laps so far. And now we have Dakota Camper in the lead in the 3 car, who started 4th. We had Dustin Stallings, who's in 2nd, who started 2nd. And then we had the 55, Zachary Bradford, who's 7th. He's in 3rd now, as well as the 23 of Brendan Maddox, who started 9th and is already up to 4th position. So some of these drivers moving quickly.
That they are, and they do a practice race every Monday night there, Hunter, and I watched them, and that 55 was fast, and also Stallings won last night's practice race. Dakota Camper was trying a whole bunch of different things as we get the restart, and here we go. Let's see if hopefully Dakota does not get a black flag, and let's see if he does or doesn't.
It looks like the 3 has already shot up to a pretty sizable lead. He got the pedal going on the metal, and he's rolling. He's got a good sizable lead in second place right now. I think he's taking it easy, holding a really low line going into 1 and 2, or in 3 and 4, he kind of slides up and goes on exit. But man, that 00 of Dustin Stallings is playing hard, and there he is already looking to the inside. He really wants that lead, and he wants it fast.
And it looks like he's going to make the move down there in 1 and 2 as Stallings now takes the lead. The girl dad car is now out in front here as we watch with Dakota Camper and So Maddox in the 23 there, he was fast last night too. We'll have to see if he can apply that here tonight, as cars in the back there are getting into the wall, as Brendan Maddox now puts down the fastest lap of tonight's event here, 14 laps into it.
Yeah, someone hard in the outside wall there. I believe that was the... Ooh, I can't tell who that is. Someone hard... It looks like the one car, Brandon Van Wingerden, he killed that outside wall coming off the 3 and 4. I'm intrigued to see how much the damage was, but that dirty air, Robert, we mentioned it earlier, it's showing effect on these cars. It's really just giving them no inside turn on the middle and exit of these corners, and these drivers are really paying the price.
Well, that's it. As we're going to ride here with Walker, you can see here, you don't want to get behind somebody. That dirty air, the car will just slide to the wall from what everybody's telling me, but now he's going to look it under Evan and going to try to make that pass right now here for 15th position, and it looks like he's going to be able to clear, and he does, and look who's right behind him. Might be how many laps? No, he's on the lead. No, is he 1 lap down? No, he's on the lead lap here. Southern is still on the lead lap, trying to work his way up to the field. Car don't look too bad now. That right front looks like the crew chief and the pit guys cleaned that car up pretty decent for him.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think he's just trying to keep his nose clean now, knowing that currently I have the 24 of Isaiah Sullivan scored a lap down, as well as the 42, so 2 previous leaders. I think they're fighting right now for that free pass position. That 42's got a good, decent gap in him, about 6 cars. That 24's fighting. He's moving fast now. It looks like he's got that car underneath him now. He's still running 23-second time, so I believe that 24 machine is still 100%, which is very lucky for him because, man, he really killed that outside wall to start the race. Not the start he wanted, but looking throughout the field, Robert, it really looks like these cars are just starting to single file out. I'm not seeing much too wide action. A lot of these cars are really just settling in for the long run. They're really just holding their own, trying to keep their nose clean, not getting in any trouble, trying to keep away from that outside wall. Oh, right now as we got, let's see, the 15 car is going right on the inside of the 27. He's trying to fight for a big dive by the 15, now fighting side by side. Some of these drivers really want to get to the front quickly, Robert, and you can really tell.
Yeah, well, they want to get at least into the top 10 for stage points is what they really want to get into, because, you know, they have stage points, top 10, get points here, just like real NASCAR, so, and then they got the stages, so, but you're right, it looks like just everybody's just settling down here right now. You got to make it to, you know, stage 45, and then, you know, and then lap 92 for the second stage, so that's that is the key. And it looks like he said, you know, they calmed down. Now the tires are warmed up. Everybody's now looking good, running out there, staying nice and clean, and we'll see how this all plays out until the next stage, where right now back here we do got a little bit of a cluster back here with Cameron Gilmore and that 42 1 lap down, trying to work his way around. We got Richard there trying to work his way up through the field, running in 10th right now, looking pretty good there. We'll see if he can hold that position. As don't worry about the 42. 42 can just work his way by him, is what I would say if I was in Richard's ear. As now we got Joshua Parent up here trying to work on Zachary Maddox in that 51 for 8th position right now. As now we got 27, and they're going at it again.
Yeah, and Robert, I would say keep an eye out in his lead as well. We got the 13 of Kyle Heath. He has. We got somebody in the outside wall as well. I believe that was the Brendan Maddox. Yeah, he go over on the radio saying he hit the outside wall. I don't see much exterior damage on the 23. I think he's okay. I think it was more of him getting out of the gas pedal to stay off of that outside fence. Right now, 23 still looking good, still rolling pretty well. Still running in the 4th position now. Well, now 5th position. I believe he moved up to 4th now. So the 13 car of Kyle Heath though is pouncing on that 00. I think the 00 had really good short run speed, but man, Robert, that 13 came out of nowhere, and now he's just fighting on that back bumper with the 00. I'd keep an eye out for that 13.
Yeah, tires too. How much did he save? Did he save enough for tires? That 13 of Kyle Heath. We'll see if he saved tires. But like you said, he has been running down Stallings there as his last lap. They both ran a 23.8. They're both last laps. So very interesting to see how this goes. But yeah, I wouldn't count out Heath right now. This guy here right now he's looking for a win, Hunter. He's been up in the front. Like you said, you raced with him before. He's very fast driver. Been up in the front, and circumstances happen at the end of the race where he either gets in a wreck or something bad happens, and he doesn't get that top 5 finish. So if he would come out tonight with a win, that would just solidify his lead. As we got Stowie's gonna lose.
Oh, and I think he said no. He comes right back up in the middle of the field. Oh no. Everybody keeps it together, thank goodness. That was a very scary moment for the 00, though. He's going to fall all the way back. So it looks like position 12, but oh my goodness, what a moment for that 00.
Wow, what a moment. Great save by him, though, but them tires ain't going to like that move anymore there, Hunter. Them tires are probably roasted, screaming and yelling, and he's just going to have to back the car down now and cool down them tires the best he can and try not to let this thing get too much of a aero push, to it and have that front end slide too much. But we'll see how he rebounds. As the 46 behind him here of Matthew Shelby, trying to work his way up, running P12 right now, trying to get into the top 10. And then you also got Scott. We got Fritz back here, still running in P13. So, like you said, the field. We got somebody going around. We see smoke.
It's the 42. We got another. The 00 gets clipped, but he holds on to it. Oh my goodness, I believe that was the 42 of Dylan Yeager that went around that time. Yeah, right in the middle of the backstretch. It looks like he was battling right outside with the 98 car, and they just came together, and the 42 went around the 56 as well, and the wall, the 56 car of Richard Wolsifer. 42 looks like he just slid, really just kind of flat spotted those tires. The 00 did get clipped, but I think his car is okay and he's still rolling. But man, 42 is not having himself a day so far.
No, he is not. And you can see on that replay, he slid up into the 90 of Joshua. You can see right here, it looks maybe a little bit of netcode as you can watch him coming out of the turn. It does look like it might be a little bit of netcode maybe. We'll have to see here if we can see it or not, but you can see him slide. Yeah, netcode. You can see that car just slide sideways, and you could stick a half a tree in between them.
Yeah, absolutely. Like my football coach would always say when he was upset about a play falling through, he'd say that you could fit a semi-truck through that hole. I don't think it was quite that big for the between the 90 and the 42, but definitely enough to cause frustration for both of them, because one guy's saying, hey, you did that, and the other guy's saying, no, it wasn't me.
Well, that's it. And you don't know sitting behind, because, in his aspect, he never touched them. But the 90 saying, you touched me. You know what I mean? So, you get that netcode boxing area air, and when they go back and watch the replay or the stream, they'll see that it was netcode.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a very frustrating turn of events for the 42. I as someone who's driven in league races like this before, it's very frustrating to be up front and have something that shoots you in the foot like a penalty. Luckily for him, we're only 32 laps into it. We're still 13 laps away from stage 1. I just think the best state of mind is just minimize your mistakes, stay out of trouble, and get your way back up front. We have a long race here today, 175 laps, 175 miles. It honestly is going to become a battle of attrition. This is the Monster Mile. These drivers like to push. They like to be aggressive. And these tires don't like your aggressiveness, so it will really be a dogfight with how this race goes. And knowing there's only 13 laps in the stage here, Robert, I think we're going to see a lot of aggressive driving to get up to the top 10.
Well, I agree, and we're going to have to watch now, with the cycle of these tires. We're going to have to keep an eye on real close to wheel spin there. We'll have to see how that all plays out, because you can also see too, on some of the shots here that we have, the rubber is starting to get built up, and in the turns, and it's going to get very rubbery. You can see it right now coming out of 1 and 2 there. It's starting to get built up, and you don't want to get up in that loose marbles because that will upset the car for a lap or two. Getting them marbles stuck on them hot tires is not a good thing. But we have to really pay attention, like I said here, Hunter, on this restart here. Hopefully we don't have too much of a wheel spin and everybody takes it easy and they're in the right gear, as we're going to get ready to go back green here on lap 33 of 175, pushing for lap 45 for stage number 1. As we get ready to go back green, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully everybody's enjoying tonight's show here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting, brought to you by BRB Racing League. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, and we had a little bit of wheel spin back there, I think, from the 10 machine.
And the 13 Kyle Heath gets off to a pretty decent start here. Definitely holding onto the lead very well. As you guys saw, he elected the outside lane, which honestly was a little surprising. I know at this track, it's definitely preferred to have the outside lane. Actually, I'm kind of agree with this call there. I think it was very smart. We got people bouncing off the wall back here, Robert. But the 13 car, yeah, this track is definitely, the longer you go with your tires, the outside is a much preferred lane to have, especially when you have someone trying to pass you on the outside or on the inside, excuse me. And yeah, the 13 cars just rolling out. We only have about 10 more laps to the end of the stage here, Robert. I think honestly most of these cars are just kind of holding their own, trying to make it to the end of the stage. Some of these drivers side by side. You've seen guys bouncing off that outside wall in the 3 and 4.
Yeah, that's Cameron Gilmore. He hit the wall now, I think, twice now, exiting out of that turn. And it has, like you said, you think these turns are the same, but they're actually not. And there's a lot more cars. Oh, hang on, as Maddox is a Walker. I'm not sure who Walker. Oh, he saved it. What a save by Gray Walker in that 18 machine. He got sideways from, I'm not sure exactly who tapped him, but what a save.
Yeah, and the 00 not holding back either. He wants to get back up front quickly. He's sending 3 wide there between those 3 cars. And he's still rolling. The 00, Dustin Stallings, is not quitting, getting to the back bumper of that 48 machine. I mean, incredible way of just trying to recover after 2 unfortunate circumstances. This is interesting, though, Robert. I mean, we've seen a lot of drivers who are bouncing off the wall on 3 and 4, and we've seen other drivers who are sliding out of 3 and 4. This track is just really unique to each driver's style and each driver's way of setting up the car. So this honestly is why it's called the Monster Mile, because no matter what type of car, no matter what type of way your car is feeling, everyone's leaving here frustrated.
Well, that is true, but right now we're going to check this out here. Right now we got the 15 that did make a pit stop, and it looks like he probably took tires. You can see how much more speed this guy has right now, as his last lap was 23.5 to the leaders, well, 23.4, but everybody else, I'm not sure if he took tires or not, but he did have a 14-second pit stop, so that's data that we do not get. But yeah, we're getting down. 5 laps to go here, as right now Kyle Heath is leading the way here with 40 laps, with 5 laps to go here for stage number 1.
Yeah, looking throughout the field, the 42 of Dylan Yeager still fighting his way through the field. Right now in position 23, just kind of work his way throughout the field, picking out drivers one by one. We're seeing some pretty aggressive racing. We got the 00 as well as the 42. They're really fighting for spots here. We got 2 wide, all 3 abreast here. I mean, these drivers all throughout the field are not giving up. They really want as many spots as they can going on the stage.
Well, that's it. Whoa, hang on there, Shelby. He almost ran in the back of Richard there, and he had to do some checkup there. Richard almost got ran over, but what a good move. He didn't get hit, so good move there by the 46. But wow, that 46 is all over that 56.
Yeah, these drivers are just not holding up all throughout the field when it comes from the leader all the way down to all these positions. I mean, they're really fighting for every spot they can get here, and we're only 43 laps in, Robert. These guys are just they're pushing. They really want to get up to the front as quick as possible.
Well, welcome to the BRB Racing League. This is what these guys do. They get crazy at the 46. It gets
he goes around.
And
man, he just that was complete tightness by the 46 there. He just had no turn in the middle of the corner, and it just sent him right around. He tried to lean on that 81 there, and it just sent him towards the wall, and they both, oh my goodness. hard hit for the 46. And yeah, I mean, both drivers are not going to be happy after leaving this one. It looks like the 46 lost his. He got the dirty air, just lost his front grip and went right into the outside wall, bringing the 81 with him. Hard into the inside wall for the 46. That's going to be a lot of damage. The 81's going to have a lot of right side damage. Just two frustrating things for both these drivers.
Yeah, and you could see he got right behind the 56 here. As we watch right now, as he comes down the backstretch here, you'll see him, he'll get right behind the 56, and right here as he gets back on the gas, and it just slides, and that was it. And there she goes, around and around and around, unfortunately. But that will bring out the caution, and our stage winner is going to be Kyle Heath is going to get the win of the stage here, because that is going to be the stage caution. So congratulations to Kyle Heath, as he's going to bring it down pit road with everybody else. The 15 is going to stay out because he just pitted 14 laps ago. So now we got new tires versus old tires, Hunter, and well, we all know how that goes.
Yeah, and most notably, we got the second place car of Isaiah. I take that back. He is in 25th place, still a lap down. I believe he will get his lap back here as the 42 of Dylan Yeager went down pit road. So interesting to see how that will turn out between the 24 and the 42. But yeah, the 15 looks like he is the only car that stayed out. Like you mentioned, he's got 14 lap old tires. With this track being so treacherous and just destructive to your tires, it'll be nice to say you're the leader for a little bit of laps, but I just expect that it almost feels like you're Superman at Dover with fresh tires. And while you want to feel like you're like Superman, you really don't want to take advantage of or run away with that, because you can definitely be loose off of 3 and 4 like we've seen, or you can be super tight and knock down that wall. These drivers need to be very conservative. We still got 130 laps to go, and if they keep driving this aggressive, it can be ugly for almost every driver on track.
That is true, as now we're going to be looking at to get to stage number 90 here tonight for stage number 2. So we'll put that up there on the ticker right there as they're on lap 47. They got to get to lap 90 for stage number 2. And we're going to get ready to go back green flag. And like you said, we're going to see what Rodney, man, I always mess up his name. Why do I mess up that guy's name? Guys, ladies and gentlemen, why do I mess up his name? I don't know why. Do it all the time, Hunter.
Well, we all had certain last names. I'm still... There's still a lot of last names. I'm still trying to. I mean, I wouldn't say you're terrible though. You helped me out with Wolsifer. A lot of big names here that I'm still trying to get used to, as well as Braden Van Wingerden.
Yeah.
Reminds me of SVG. And a lot of cool names in here though. I will say, most notably though, we got the 00 Dustin Stallings, who had issues earlier in the race, and now he's up here in position 2. It's going to be interesting to see how this restart lays out. These drivers are tight right now, almost like a Cup Series style restart. They're all bumper to bumper. I'll be interested to see how this restart goes, Robert.
Well, let's find out as we get ready for the restart zone here, as we're going to watch them crank her up and come around as they get ready to go green. And here we go as well. There's a little bit of a stack up there going on right now. A little bit of a stack up, and then we had openings and drivers giving room, but I don't know about that restart, but we'll see about the black flags getting cleared here as we're watching Johnny Wood Jr. right now trying to work his way up with that number 75 machine. Haven't talked much about him. Trying to work through the field here right now as he's battling there with Fritz for 7th and 8th position here right now.
One thing I will point out, Robert, I'm honestly surprised that we have this 15 car in the lead and almost running away with the lead. He's running significant times. I think he kind of just stayed back and saved his tire as much as he could. Right now, he's running 23 flats, pulling away from second place right now. Now, pulling away at Dover can be either be a really good sign or a really bad sign. When you're on older tires than the people behind you, it might be false confidence. I would say the 15 really should take care of his tires and try to hold on to the position he can. But I will say it's pretty impressive for Ronnie Osmer right now, running away with the lead after having 14 lap older tires. That could either mean that the drivers behind him are really, really saving, or the 15 just saved that entire previous run.
Well, 2 laps ago, I don't think the 15 was saving because he put down the fastest lap of the race of a 23 flat. So I don't think he's saving. I think he, this car, the way it is, clean air is the king. You got to get out, and I do believe that he wants to get out as far as he can. And then once Maddox here catches up to him, because we know the newer tires will catch up to this 15, he's going to use that air and make it really hard for people to pass. Is what I'm thinking is going to happen here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when you're in dirty air, these drivers really struggle with tightness. Like you see the 13 right there made a move on the 23 car behind him, and he got really close to that outside wall. That 13 of Kyle Heath is moving in the front. He's moving with a passion. These drivers, when you're right behind somebody, it gets super tight to turn in the corner because all that air is cut off to the nose of your car. And the second you have somebody behind you, you get super loose, like we saw with the double zero, and they almost go around in the exit of the corner. So I think you're absolutely right, Robert. I honestly think that these drivers in clean air just have so much better grip and turn in their cars and a lot more just overall handling of their cars where they can drive better even with older tires.
I have to agree, as we still got a battle going back here for 8th, 9th, 10th position. Zachary Maddox is trying to keep his position. We got Zachary getting around Brandon Maddox right now, as we see Christian Barnes trying to work his way. We also got, let's see here, the number 10 of Gilmore trying to work his way up, having a good run. P11 right now. Not too bad. He's actually up 4 positions at the start of tonight's event. So he's looking pretty good right now. And we'll go back to the back of the field here. We got Andrew Rotel back here in 18th position, just taking his time, running around the track, staying out of trouble. With also, we got Eric Jensen back here, running back in P19th. And then we got Evan. He's staying at 81. That was involved into that incident with Shelby back here running. And then we got Caden in the 19 trying to stay out of trouble. We got Braxton Skinner in the 33 back here in 22nd. We'll see where he winds up finishing. Don't count him out. Then we got Sam Dyer doing Sam Dyer things, riding in the back, making pit stops every time he can. He's got almost the most pit stops that anybody. He's up to 3 pit stops already. So, and then you got Southern back here trying to work his way around, trying to get his lap back, but looks like right now he would be the only one a lap down. So, once the stage yellow comes out, he'll be able to get that wave around. So, might be running in 24th there, Hunter, but don't count him out.
It definitely not. And looking out throughout the field right now, we still have about 31 more laps to go before we take that stage 2 checkered flag, green and checkered flag. Right now, looking throughout the field, I think most of these drivers really are just settling in for the run. They're like, hey, listen, I know we've been wrecking earlier, but we really just need to make it to stage 2 in one piece. And right now, it's just drivers single filed all throughout the field. We got a little 1-2 battles in the back, but so far, I think these drivers are saying we got to settle in for the long run. Let's try to make it to the end of the race, because you can't make it to the checkered flag without a car with you.
Amen on that one. But yeah, so we'll see what happens here, as I want to see how Heath here battles here with that 15. How does he get around him, or does he? Or he's catching up to him. He's only 4/10ths behind, but the closer you get, the more that car is going to want to push, and I want to see what he does to overtake that. Did he figure something out that we don't know yet? We'll have to wait and find out.
Yeah, and Robert, don't count out that number 23 car, Brendan Maddox, as well. He's been riding right behind the 13. He's been running a higher groove than the 13, so he has clean air going into the corner and through the middle of the corner. Now, he does get that nose cut off a little bit when he goes and exit, but when you see, he's running a higher groove than that 13, and it looks like he's getting much better speed on exit because he can roll through center better with that clean air. Oh, we got a caution.
Oh, caution is out, unfortunately, and it looks like it might be, we'll have to see here, as it looks like it might be on the 42.
42, yes.
Happen here.
He lost it on the front straightaway. Looks like the 42 just went right around. He got loose on exit, tight on exit, excuse me, hit the wall, and it just sent him right into the inside wall and spun it around.
Oh, man, and that's it. This is, a self-cleaning track. You hit something, the car's if it hits something on the high side, it's coming back down into the inside. He hits the wall, and hard lick to that inside wall, and Yeah, you can see him. He got up there. He actually got flags for something. But yeah, we're right along right here with him, and you can see he gets behind that 56 of Richard, and he just gets that 30 air. He's downshifting. You can hear him. He's out of the gas. He's out of the gas. He's throttling, 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 and just nowhere to go. And unfortunately, he just creams that inside wall, spins it around, and brings out a caution. And that car is broken.
Yeah, most definitely. It's been a rough day for the 42, and this unfortunately has just been the cherry on top for him. It's just been a rough day. I like we've seen time and time again, Robert. I mean, it's super tight on exit here. That outside wall is almost he's getting tired, and we're only 63 laps in. So it's been an interesting turn of events with that outside wall in 3 and 4, and I don't think I'm going to see anything changing here. I think these drivers are really pushing their limits, and they're finding out pretty quickly.
Well, that's it. That and they're finding out really quickly that the monster came out to play. Um, the Monster Miles is eating up the cars here tonight already. A lot of these cars, if they haven't got damaged, they probably will by the end of the race. Somehow, some way, that Monster Mile will reach out and grab you. But right now, the 15 is leading the way on lap 64 of 175. So, how's everybody doing out there? We got some people out there watching. Who's your favorite driver? Who you rooting for? Let us know in chat, and we'll see if we can focus on them just a little bit as we now do the choose rule. And now we look like we got Kyle Heath going to start on the outside.
Yeah, and I'm intrigued to see how the 15 will roll off now that every single one of their tires have had a good amount of age into them. We see the 15 elect the bottom lane. That 13 really loves to roll around that outside. He picked the outside in the final restart before winning the first stage. So it'll be interesting to see if this 15 can get a really good jump. And we've seen a lot of tire spin recently with these cars, especially on older tires. So if the 15 wants to jump, he's going to have to avoid that tire spin, especially with the 13 on his outside with 15 lap fresher tires.
Yeah, that's it. He's throwing 33 lap tires, like you said, to Kyle Heath's is 19, and everybody all the way back until you get to Johnny Wood, that Junior, that just went in and made a pit stop. So, and then you got Evan, Joshua, Eric Jensen. Southern is now. Let's talk about that too. Southern is now back on the lead lap as we get ready to go back green flag racing here. We're going to see how this start here and see what the 15 can do. Gets a great start in the restart zone, and wow. Heath did not get a good start there, Hunter, at all.
Not at all, actually. I think he was the one with the tire spin. We were expecting the 15 to, but I think he perfected that restart and caught the 13 off guard, causing him to spin his tires. He's going to lose his spot there to the 00 Dustin Stallings, and man, it's been a fight for Dustin Stallings to get his way back up to the front, but he has done it, and only in 66 laps. Dustin Stallings is one in that lead quick.
Well, we'll see what he can do, as right now he's, like you said, running in second position as these guys are coming around here on lap 67 to get to 190. Awesome racing going on here with these guys. Even though the Monster Mile has pulled out and hit them a little bit, what are you gonna do about it? That's just sometimes the way it is. Unfortunately, as looks like I got a bug going on here that I'll fix later. But yeah, so well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back. We're going to hit a quick commercial break, and we'll get back to the stage here after this quick word from iRacing, and we'll see who gets that stage win. But we'll be right back after this word. right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. We are back after a commercial break. Took a little extended commercial break because I had to get something fixed on our end, but we are rocking and rolling here as right now we're watching Dustin Stallings right now as, oh, well, we did miss a yellow when we went to commercial, Hunter, and now we're back under yellow as it might look like, I'm not sure who this is involved into, but we'll see if we can find it as it looks like Richard might be the cause of this yellow. As, we'll see right here if he's the one that calls it as they go down in a turn. You got Kyle Heath on the inside, Southern on running out there. Then you got 88. Let's see if this is something happens with this pack of guys here or not. As oh yeah, whoopsie.
56 hard into that inside wall. You can see the damage on the left side. Comes right back up on the track, but thankfully he keeps it locked up and nobody comes into him. But yeah, you can see that heavy left front damage to that 56 machine. And Robert, around a track like this, front end damage is something you definitely don't want, especially a track where you're struggling to turn already. I don't see any steering issues with that 56 car, but the aero damage will definitely show.
Yeah, we'll watch the steering wheel. Yeah, the steering wheel looks okay, like you said. So, yeah, but that damage, that was a pretty hard lick on the inside, and these cars don't like it here at Dover, like you said. So,
Definitely not. Especially a hard hit like that will definitely. I'm surprised it honestly didn't bend the steering wheel at all. Broke some things in the interior of the car, but no, it did not. I think it's just exterior damage, but damage like that can definitely kind of cause your car to aero push, and it will cause your car to just struggle to turn all the way around. So yeah. 56 probably going to try to get as much repairs as he can to that car under caution without damaging himself too badly with the lap count. So it'll be interesting to see what decisions he makes there. But Robert, I mean, these drivers are really showing what the Monster Mile can do.
That they can, as we'll bring up the race report here at Dover Motor Speedway. Here we have 7 cautions for 18 laps. Lead changes at the start-finish line is 5, and they ran 60 laps of green. So not bad, all considering 7 cautions at this track. Just, you know, with this latest update iRacing put in, you know, people are saying that this is the way the real car races, and this is the way, you know, way it is. You know, guys are just, they're still, I do believe they're still trying to learn how this car handles and what you can and cannot do, Hunter, with this vehicle. It's, you know, sometimes it's hard to teach, you know, old dogs new tricks. You know, you get so used to after a year of running away a physics run, and then you get this thrown at you. It can be brutal for a while.
Absolutely, and it's very interesting with a car that has 5 gears in comparison to all the previous Cup cars with only 4 gears. So some of these drivers are, believe it or not, shifting in the corners all the way from 5th to 4th. Some of these drivers are keeping in 5th all the way on the track. So it's just it's such a different way of how these drivers attack it, how these cars handle in clean, dirty air, how they handle around corners by themselves in a pack. It's just been drivers testing out the Monster Mile, and right now the Monster Mile has really been furious with these cars.
That it has been, but there's a couple drivers that the Monster Mile has tried to grab, and these drivers push back, and Dustin Stallings is one of them. As green flag is out, off we go, ladies and gentlemen, and Dakota Camper and Brendan Maddox are going to be battling there for second position, as it looks like the 23 is going to clear and fall in, and now he's going to try to chase down Dustin in that number 00 machine as we're back going green flag racing.
Yeah, it looks like the 00 has just been the tone of the field. Hard in the outside wall there. I couldn't see who that was. It looked like a light blue machine. But like we've said earlier, the 00 just has been the tone of the field all race today. He's had issues. He got loose off of 1 and 2 of the leader, fell all the way back to 15th, making his way all the way back up to 2nd in the stage, and now he's 1st again. The 00 just knows how to make his way around this track. Dustin Stallings, our points leader, really knows just how to handle this track and how to tame the Monster Mile.
That he has, as Brendan Maddox now puts down the fastest lap with a 22.9. So now we're down into the 22.9s on lap 83 of 90. So we're getting close to that end of that stage. And, you know, I know this is your first race, you know, commentating these guys, but Stallings has been on a roll this season. As you've seen it in the point standings, this is his year. He's out to show that he is capable of winning a championship, and I do believe strongly this is his year. It's going to be interesting once we get into the playoffs, but I do believe this 0-0 there, Hunter, is the car to beat.
Yeah, absolutely. And Robert, I've raced with the 0-0 Dustin Stallings in the past. He's an incredible driver. He's really fast, but also super clean. So Dustin Stallings definitely the points leader by a good gap, by 50 points. He's definitely, I know this is my first race calling with Freaky Fast with this league, but he's definitely shown that he deserves to be in this championship talk, and he's shown week in and week out, both on the points and on the track today, that he really is the car that they're going to have to come and show up and beat week in and week out.
That is so true, as we're on lap 86 of 90 for the stage here, as we're riding along with Scott Fritz here in that number 48 machine. He's working his way up through the field, running in P6. But right now, outside, running Evan is in P9 with Kyle Heath trying to get some stage points in. Kyle Heath, we know he has a fast car. We've seen him up in the front, but now what can he do as he's back here running in 11th position? Can he get some stage points here with the laps, you know, counting down? We're going to find out as we see. Now we got Gilmore up here getting side by side with Jared in that 98, and now they're going to get all stacked up here slowly as Evan and Jared and Kyle Heath now are trying to figure out who wants to be where.
Yeah, and these drivers just all around the field fighting for every position they can take so far. That 13 of Kyle Heath, he was up front earlier, now fighting with the 81. I mean, Kyle Heath is just one of those drivers where you know he's coming, and you know he's gonna be there quickly. So he's definitely a driver you want to fend off the 81, trying to hold as much as he can. But there goes the 13 with an incredible runoff of 1 and 2. You know, Robert, I know he's not up front right now. I know he's fighting his way in the top 10, but just fighting for P9 right now. I would assume he's going to be up there really quickly, but we have one more lap left in the stage here. Dustin Stallings has a little bit over a half-second gap over the 23 of Brendan Maddox. I think 0-0 is going to coast it home here and take that green and white checkered flag.
That's what it looks like here as Stallings is going to come around, win stage number 2 here, get some more bonus points as he pockets 10 points in his way to the championship. Congratulations to Dustin Stallings. Brendan Maddox is going to come home ninth with Johnny Wood Jr. there in 3rd position with Dakota Camper. They're in 4th, and then Rodney there in 5th with Scott Fritz. Going to be P6 with Gilmore. Looks like he's going to come home in 7th. Good stage run for him with Hughes in that 98 and P8. Kyle Heath is, well, he's got himself up, like you said, P9, and then Evan's going to round out your stage winners are in P10. So now the stages are done. 84 laps to go in this race. Everybody's going to come down, take some Sunoco fuel, get some Goodyear tires, and now we're going to see the racing. I do believe I do believe it's going to build up just a little bit more here, Hunter, as we get down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah, Robert, and when we cut to the 0-0 winning that stage there, the 13 and 81 almost got into a very scary instant coming off of 1 and 2. The 81 and then the 13 were battling pretty hard. 13 almost got clipped and went almost right into the inside wall in the backstretch there. These drivers really are just fighting for every inch they can, especially with 13 finishing in P9 there for one of the last spots in the stage. These drivers really want stage points, and they want them as bad as they can take them.
That is true, as we see them, everybody making a pit stop here. And give me 1 second.
Double Zero wins a quick race off, a close race off of pit road there. Gonna hold on to the lead, but I believe we have a new leader here, or not a new leader, excuse me, a new person in second place here. It looks like it is the 75 of Johnny Wood Jr. at a really good exit off of pit road. And he looks like he'll be rolling off P2 here behind Dustin Stallings. Actually, excuse me, we had the 15 of Ronnie Osmer, who stayed out again to hold on to the P1 position, as well as the 55 of Zachary Brandvold. They will be the 1-2 right here. Two drivers who are on different pit strategies like we've seen earlier, trying to hold their way up to the front. We saw them pit before the stage was over, and now we're going to see them holding the lead again. Let's see if the 15 can hold on to that same strategy of, I'm going to take care of the tires when I get them, and once I get to the front, I'm just going to roll away with it.
That's what I do believe is, yeah, I agree with you there, Hunter. We'll see here as it's gonna be interesting. Save tires. These guys with 80% fuel. I don't have a fuel number, ladies and gentlemen, so I do apologize. But I do believe they're gonna have to make at least one more pit stop. So, you know, do you save the tires and try to push this out? You know, it's going to be very interesting to see the different strategies if we stay green. Now that's you know the big thing, if, you know, and we'll find out here very shortly.
100%, and I think we're starting to get close to the point where we only had 6 tires to start the race, 5 on pit road, and 1 with the set you started with. So I think some of these drivers are starting to push the limits of how many tires they have left. And Robert, 80 laps of the Monster Mile, especially with what we've seen with how tight and loose these cars get, drivers are going to want as many pair of fresh tires we can get here, but we're going to get rolling on the restart here.
That is true. As we get ready to go back green here, ladies and gentlemen, as we are off, here we go. Final stage of the race. Race to 175 laps, and we'll see who gets the win and who gets to bring home that checkered flag.
And I think the 15 of Ronnie Osmer was really hoping for the 55 on the outside lane to get rolling just as much as he did, so he could keep that 00 in his mirror as much as he could. But that 00 got an incredible jump right behind the 15, and now he's pouncing. I don't know what lap he put it on, Robert, the 15 of Ronnie Osmer. I don't know how old his tires are, but I know that 00 is hungry. He's been up front all day, and I know he wants that clean air.
That he does. To give you that information, he actually he's on his 24th lap. But right now, I really wouldn't worry about it. This last time I seen him with being up front there, as we were talking, and then we had to go to that commercial break there, Hunter. He was putting down fastest laps as he can. So we'll see here.
Yeah, but with 24-lap-old tires, I just don't think there's anything Ronnie Osmer can do besides just drive it to his limit and hope for a caution later in the run. That 00 is pouncing. He's holding that higher lane. You can see him running in the 3rd groove compared to the 15-second groove, so he can just keep that clean air to his nose. Now, I know running a higher line can kill your tires harder, but staying in that clean air is much better than being right behind somebody in dirty air. That 15 is trying to hold on as much as he can. You can see he gets a lot closer to the wall than that 00. You can tell that 15's car is handling nowhere near as good as that 00's. They're going really high towards the wall here now, Robert. I think 00 is kind of toying with him just to see what the run is like. But right now that 15 is really on his rear bumper with less than 0.2 of a second. Now he's fighting on the inside.
Well, that's it. The 15 went high to try to get that air pushed on him, as now he's going to get tight that dirt, man. You just can't make that pass. The 15 did an excellent job there. He pinched that 00 down, but if you watch what Rodney's doing here, he's using the air to try to hold off that 15 as Dustin, he's going to have to try to figure it out. You get behind somebody, these cars just don't like riding behind somebody, unfortunately. It's just not the way these cars are built anymore.
They definitely don't, and the older the tires get, the more your car moves up along the grooves. And like you saw with the 00, he wanted to make that pass on the inside, but he just lost the grip, got super tight, and started sliding up the racetrack, where the 15 didn't need to. So the 15 just stayed on the outside, and he kept that lead right off of 3 and 4. But that 00, although he can't really complete the pass, he's not leaving him. He's staying in that windshield, and he's just rolling through on that 15. Now you can see how close he's getting to that car. had an incredible run for 1 and 2. And Robert, from what I'm seeing, I think the double zero is really strong for 1 and 2, but that 15 is even stronger for 3 and 4.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too. I'm glad we're both on the same page there. As these guys keep on battling, we got more battling going on in the back here as Kyle Heath is trying to work his way up through the field. He has now finally worked his way up to 7th as he got by Zachary. Isaiah Southern, we said don't put him out yet. Racing for Christ team here worked his way up to P9 after having that dismal start of the race, the same as Dusty. They're bouncing back, so good bounce back by all these guys so far here. As other than that, looks like Matthew Shelby has called it a night, unfortunately, and we also got Caden. Looks like in the 19 has called it a night too, as something happened to the one. It's showing me that he's driving slow.
Yeah, I know the number 1 machine has had troubles all day. I think he's kind of just taking care of his stuff. He might be on older tires. I've seen him get hard into the outside wall a few times. I think he's just kind of trying to keep the car underneath him right now, moving his way throughout the field. But I would keep an eye on him. He does seem unusually slow, like you said, Robert. But yeah, I do have to tip my cap to the 24 machine of Isaiah Sutherland. Spun on without even taking the first lap, and now he's already in the top 10. That 24 machine is showing, hey, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. He's working his way through the field, 3 seconds behind the leader now. I'd keep an eye on that 24 machine as well as that 00 and 13 machine. All those 3 guys are just incredible, and I believe those are the top 3 in points right now, Robert.
Yes, that is true. The top 3 in points are top 3 here tonight, right now. But Junior in that 75. We didn't talk to. We talked a little bit about him, but. Let's see if we can find him on the standing. Yeah, he's running in 4th position. He's having a really good race. He's bouncing back. He's up 1 position. But right now, the biggest mover of tonight's race so far is going to be that 19. It looks like of Scott Fritz. He is going to be our Whiplash Sim Cam biggest mover here tonight. Make sure you check out Whiplash Sim Cams on Facebook for all your iRacing camera needs that you see here with Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Proud partner of all the cameras that you see here at Dover International Speedway or Motor Speedway, and all the other tracks that we go to.
And Robert, I've got to do it to you, but 48 getting the biggest mover of the day kind of puts me a smile on my face there. He started 25th, now up to P6. He's showing the 48 proud here at Dover. Honestly, I just believe if you're in that 48 car at Dover, you get like an extra 5-10 horsepower. Maybe that's just me, but watching the 48 fly around this track is just it's something special.
Well, if that's the case, I got the data behind me, and I'm going to watch his speed as he's getting 100 and let's see here. Where's the speed at? He's getting 140 going right now, 150. Now he's going to go down the back stretch, 160, 170, about 170. And now the leader, we'll see what he does. It's about the same, 150, 160, 170. Yeah, I don't see that extra 5 miles per hour. I don't know where you're seeing that out there, Hunter.
I will say that 13 of Kyle Heath is really pressed on him. He's showing him, if you want to be fast here, you're going to have to prove it. That 13 of Kyle Heath is rolling. He's been fast all night. He's trying to get his way back up to that front. He's really trying to get to the back of the 48, but we've seen it time and time again, just that dirty air, you get real close, but then you struggle to make that pass. But now we're starting to see drivers move up the track. You can see right there, the 13, he gets in the inside, but then he just gets super tight. You just can't complete rolling through the corner, and that 48 will pull off faster. I think it's just really getting to the point here, Robert. We got about 60, 62 laps or so, and I think drivers are just trying to set the mood like, hey, we got one more set of tires, one more pit stop. Let's just get through here, try to roll through as best we can, keeping our car in one piece, and see how we can do with that last set.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Hunter. I do believe that's what these guys are going to be doing here as we're still watching Kyle Heath try to figure out how to get around that 48 machine there with Zachary Randall right behind him in that 55 door cell machine. But yeah, I mean, we have cars disappearing. That's not good.
Oh no, looks like we're not the only ones with internet issues here.
No, unfortunately, okay, they're back as they blinked out, unfortunately, and it doesn't look like it was me, hopefully, but okay. And not only that, let's talk about the weather here as we're watching Dakota. Look at what happened to the weather. It is overcast at 6:28 p.m. in sim time. Track temperature has not changed. The air temperature didn't change. That wind hasn't changed, but we got clouds over this track here right now, Hunter, and that is going to play a little bit of havoc on these drivers as this track now is going to start to cool down. Yes, it's going to give them more grip, but I don't know how. I don't know how that's going to react with the drivers, though.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking at these drivers right now, I believe they've been driving about the same so far throughout the entire race, only because the track temperature really hasn't changed. So they've kind of known what to expect the entire race, which is a good thing for them. Watching track temperatures and track conditions change over a race can definitely see some drivers struggle when they started really good in the race, or some drivers who struggled early in the race show their strength at the end. So I think right now these drivers are really happy that we're seeing track temperatures keep about the same, as well as it's starting to cool down a bit, so they might even have more grip.
Well, that's it. This track has become very over cloudiness, and that does play a factor in the track temperature. It plays a factor in the tire wear. It plays a factor in a lot of things that iRacing has brought a dynamic, weather system into, iRacing with the rain and everything else. Now, we're not going to see rain here, of course, but it does play a factor. As you see a little bit of sun on the backstretch and in turn 3 and 4, and then once you get out of 3 and 4, you can see coming right down here, there's really not much sun out as they come down in 1 and 2. It is cloudy. So yeah, very interesting.
Oh,
and
no,
it's
Robert.
awesome to see, but what do you see happening?
Looks like we lost the 13 of Kyle Heath due to internet issues.
Oh no.
He's fallen all the way back to 6 laps down in the server. It says he has lost packet loss, and he's been kicked from the server. He's now all the way back in position 22, 7 laps down. Man, that's a big blow for the 13 machine.
That it is. And again, what did I say earlier? Having a great run, and something just happens. Yeah, that's unfortunately, with the weather-based system, game that we have here. Not weather-based, internet-based with the weather can play havoc. So, we chalk that up as an engine failure. That's about the only way you're going to, describe it, to anybody out there, that his engine popped, and unfortunately, he's not going to be able to finish tonight's event.
Yeah, absolutely. I also want to, I know we had internet issues. I think internet's been the thing all day, but I also want to welcome somebody else into the booth who kind of made his way back in here. Mr. Zachary Hall is finally back in the booth. Zach, how are we doing today?
Well, we've made it, as they would say, better late than never, I guess. But yeah, it's been a tough time. Had to find some other ways to get into the Dover premises too. It was not allowing me to get back in, but luckily we got in.
Were the cops out there saying you're not allowed in?
I had to get an escort. I had to make the right contacts to the right people.
Were you trying to bring alcohol?
No. We were definitely not trying to bring anything into the track. We were all focused on business here tonight. But it is. Yeah, it's been a wild one, and I mean, it's tough to see right here. I come in to Kyle Heath, he drops to the connection loss, and I think it's just something that is happening. This summer has been so far the summer of internet loss for a lot of people. I think it's just a lot of hot weather and just storms
rain
around. So yeah, it's just lots of things and lots of factors, and unfortunately, it held me back from being here at the beginning. But I'm glad to join you guys now, and it looks like we're getting some good green flag action here too now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, this is the last show here for me unless the internet woes get us, but I'm going to hand it over to Hunter and Zach Hall to call the rest of the action race here. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in winner's circle here very shortly, hopefully.
Good to be back in the booth here with you, Zach. I know it's been a while. It's been what feels like years, but we've had some good amount of green flag racing here today. The 15 of Ronnie Osmer out in the front. We've had a lot of cars who have been struggling with tightness as well as looseness in both the exit and enters of corners. We actually had the leader of the 24 of Isaiah Sutherland spin it before he could complete our first lap. So it's been drivers struggling with the handling of the cars all day today. The 24 has actually made his way all the way back up now. He's in P8, all the way from a lap down. He's been fighting all day, and it's just been hard on the wall there for the 24.
Yeah, definitely hard contact. He makes the pass on the lap car there, and still looking to catch up to Zachary Brandville. But yeah, definitely good to be back up in the booth with you guys, and you too, Hunter. Good to hear your voice, buddy. I hope you've been doing good, and we're gonna have some fun here with these folks for the final few laps of this race. But yeah, I've been tuning in, and man, it has been a tough start for these guys here to start this evening, but they have done an excellent job here to really get this run strung out, and everybody's trying to find air. You can see the lines, and this is something I'll say. I don't know, Hunter, how much you've been around iRacing lately, and at the time of stuff you've had to do. It has changed so much with this update where now we literally see these people. You're literally just searching for air. You're not even really looking to run the optimal line anymore. It is literally run the maximum downforce line, so to say. So it is very interesting, and I'm not surprised to see a lot of these guys searching as far as you see Joshua Parent there all the way up against the wall. And look, leader, even Ronnie Osmer, he's going to come in here, and so Osmer going to get to the pit road and get his stop done and possibly be the final one of the night for him, Hunter.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of these drivers just on completely different strategies. But like you mentioned, yeah, these cars are just searching for as much air as they can get. Watching the 00 Dustin Stallings, he's been running a complete different line the entire race from the car in front of him, just searching for as much air and downforce he can get to the front of the car. I don't know how recent the iRacing update was. I remember doing a NIS race at Pocono a few weeks ago, and man, there's just no way to turn your car if somebody's in front of you, especially the closer you get to the rear bumper of a car, the more your front tires just scream at you. So these cars have been fighting for grip and fighting for clean air this entire race, and it's clearly shown with how many times these cars have hit the outside wall in 3 and 4.
Oh, for sure. And yeah, well, you're in luck too, Hunter. That Pocono race was the first race with the update, so it is right into with what you felt. And yeah, it's a huge change. I'm a person that's been kind of racing the next gen car for the past, I'd say, 2 years now, and we used to complain about dirty air before, but I can tell you it is a bigger factor now than it's ever been. So it really plays a factor, and it makes the racing that much more different, but also just that much more realistic, I think. This is what we see on Sundays also, is you have to search around the track. You can't ride behind that driver right in front of you. You have to find the optimal grip, and right now Stallings still yet to pit, leading the way after getting it transitioned over to him from the 15. And I think the concern from a lot of these drivers right now, Hunter, is if they pit and they get a caution, they're going to be in big trouble then from getting caught, lap down possibly. So I think you're seeing a few of them take it a little farther stretched out here, and also maybe to have a little bit fresher rubber for the end of this race.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think right now the mindset for the 00 is just pushing. Yeah, he pushed it real close to the 56 there. I just really think the mindset for the 00 right now, Dustin Stallings, is I've been up front all day. I'm the fastest car, top 3 fastest car, and I've just been up front all day. And I really think the 00 is just saying, let's push it to as much as we can. But the 23 not coming to the outside of the 00. They're fighting for position here, but we got a lap car right here in the middle of the pick. It's 56 here. These cars are fighting for every position they can get in it. This is really the time to just let down here, Zach. I mean, we only got about 38 laps to go here. Cars in the middle of pit cycles. And this is the time to crank down, and right now the 23, 75, and the 00. Oh, man, we're getting aggressive. We're driving here, and the 56 cars at pick here is not helping either of these drivers. But they're going to be pitting here soon. These drivers are trying to get as much space as they can. Oh, there goes the 00 on the 56. Still beating off each other. Oh, my goodness, Zach.
This is some hard racing. I know Wolfsburg trying to stay on the lead lap, but Stallings cannot be happy with that contact there down the back straightaway. He's a little loose now. That's going to open up the door for Brandon Maddox. And this racing here just slowing these guys down so much. They were running 23.9s Now they're running 24 fours. So it is almost about 0.5 of a second lost here, half a second, just from all that battling that went down. So you can think if this does transition through a full sequence here, the 15 of Ronnie, he is going to be in such a better position than all these other drivers. As Maddox close and that dirty air gets into the outside wall. Now it's with the 75 of Johnny Wood to the inside trying to make the pass, and he's going to get the job done. He's up to second. Can he have something for Stallings?
Yeah, Zach, and as you mentioned, the 15's going to have a massive gap here. He's short pitted, but it's going to get to the point where we only have 35 coming on 34 laps to go here. And you know as much as yourself, laps go by fast here. It's hard to break a gap that's 5, 6, 7 seconds long. So these drivers, I know they're kind of pushing it out to have a much quicker tire, but the 15's going to be so far out if they don't pit here quickly that they're almost kind of shooting themselves in the foot here. I'm honestly curious to see what the 00 does, or if they're just hoping on a caution. I'm not 100% certain that they can make it here on fuel. Maybe they can, but if that was the case, I wouldn't have seen the 15 gone down pit road. So I'm curious what the 00's decision is here before he goes down pit road.
Well, I will say this track you can do about almost 100 to 105 laps in this next gen car with a full fuel load. These cars in the BRB Buck Care Cup Series do have 80% fuel load, so they're missing 20% of the fuel that a normal Cup Series car would have in a normal 20-gallon tank that it has. So you're losing valuable gallons of there. But I will say, I mean, we didn't go green go green for this full distance here. It could be very possible that we see these drivers fully try to stretch this out, and possibly the concern with the 15 was not just fuel, but more of the Goodyear rubber, because I can tell you we might see some tire failures if they do have to stretch it upwards of 80 laps here.
And it looks like it's going to be just that, because they went green with about 80 to go in this green flag run, and they've been green ever since. These two leaders are not holding back either. It looks like the 75 of Johnny Wood has just been quicker. Dustin Stallings really ate up his rear tires in that 3-wide battle with the lap car, and just that 75 is kind of just reading the line, seeing what he can do. But I really think he's the quicker car. And there looks a big block by the 00 there.
Yeah, very aggressive block. I think Stallings knows if he gives up the clean air, it's going to be game over for him, because the 75 has just been a little bit quicker, and they're going to beat and bang off the exit of 2 because the 75 was on the quarter pound, but Stallings did a great job of not allowing him to slide up more and cause that to be a bigger incident than it was. As they race side by side, Stallings going to have the lap down car ahead of him to get the dirty air of Sam Dyer there, who's going to pull left and let the leaders go by. That really, unfortunately, caught up the 00 when they're side by side, and now Johnny Wood Jr., who did an excellent job to really gain in that whole sequence of events there between the 56, the 00, and the 23. He was the big gainer out of all of this situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Now the 75 of Johnny Wood Jr. is just going to set sail and run away with it. Now, Zach, coming under less than 30 to go now, I honestly think these drivers are just going to say, I'm going to run it dry, and if it runs empty, it runs empty. I would assume with a track where we have less than 30-second laps, especially with a huge gap to the 15 would have built now, I think these drivers would have pitted already. So I'm honestly curious to see if these drivers do decide to pit. But, man, this battle is not holding down. The 00 is now getting back to the 75 and says, okay, if you want to battle with me, I can show you what it's like too.
This is impressive. Yeah, you would think the clean air transition over to 75, it would be sayonara for him after he made the pass. And now, like you said, he's having the flashbacks here to look in the mirror, because the 00 Dustin Stallings has kind of found a little bit of footing here to stay close enough. And the biggest thing is just really finding the lane to run. You see the lanes cross. At some point, you will be following this driver, at least on the exit, the entry somewhere. But when you cross that wing, you have to be so prepared for that car to take off on you. And Stallings doing a great job at the moment, just hanging on 0.3 of a second behind Johnny Wood Jr., also the winner from Bristol at a concrete track. So maybe looking to continue his concrete trend for the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And in this entire race, it's just been a battle of clean air. Who has the better grip? And there it is again, a 90 hard on the inside wall there.
That is a huge hit.
I believe we're going to stay green here. He's still slow in the higher grooves of 1 and 2. He's completely lost turn in his right side car. He's riding against the wall here. Now he's throwing a piece of debris out in the track. What a hard hit for that 90 machine.
That was a heavy, heavy collision, like you said there, Hunter. And we'll see if he can even get it down and get it slowed down, because that's going to be the concern for me is this car's not going to turn. Yeah, look, right here. Goes into the corner. It just doesn't turn. See if he can get it down the track towards pit road, and he can't do it. He's going to have to go much much slower. That is going to be the biggest thing I let them know is when those wheels are broken, you're going to have to crawl to about under 100 mile an hour on the apron. And right now he's just holding that bottom groove, which is going to work because if you stay consistent and hold it, the drivers will know where to go. It's just he's got to keep it down there when they come down the back straightaway.
Yeah, that 90 machine is just completely, his whole left front fender is just, excuse me, it's his right side tire is just completely, almost looks like it's off the axle.
It's broken suspension for sure. Definitely toe links are destroying that car.
Yeah, that was a heavy hit for that 90 machine. Tough way to go, especially with less than about 22 laps to go here tonight. But that 75 of Johnny Wood Jr., he set sail. But Zach, it looks like we have the 00 of Dustin Stallings down the pit now.
Yeah, he's in the pit road.
I don't think they're going to be able to make it. I think we're going to see everyone down. I think now it's getting to the point where the 15 is so far out, and the 00 is now going to have an advantage on the 75. I think the 75 has to pit now, especially when he has over a 3.5 second gap to second.
Ronnie Osmer definitely trying to take advantage of that early pit stop here after leading the way. Right now, Stallings exiting pit road. Osmer already going through the center of 1 and 2. So the gap has grown there between those two. If it all cycles through, the question is going to be, did anybody save enough fuel? Did they, have the chance and opportunity here to make it all the way to the end of this race? It's going to be a huge question mark for all of us, but the longer you wait, the more time you definitely give up here if you're these other drivers.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's almost getting to the point where I'm honestly curious what the 75 is thinking right now. If we're seeing all of these top contenders going down pit road, we knew the 15 was on about 20 lap older tires than the rest of the field, so we knew he would pit before everyone else. But the 75, every lap that ticks down, the further the drivers are going to be from you and the less time you have. I wonder if the 75 is just hoping to run it dry, or if he's just thinking, I'm hoping for a caution and see what I can do with the freshest tires in the field.
That's for sure. Yeah, definitely could be looking for that yellow flag to be the saving grace here in this situation. As now we check to the 35 of Sam Dyer. He's going to be 1 lap down. Richard Wolsifer, who was the first car a lap down. Sorry, actually, I thought it was Wolsifer was coming up pit road. It was Gray Walker in the 18. He has come to pit road, so still first car a lap down will be the 56 Richard Wolsifer. But it is definitely, with only 6 cars on the lead lap right now, getting very, very interesting with pit road because still many drivers yet to hit it, but it seems like most are going to have to.
Yeah, I'm looking at the gap already between the 15 and the 00. He's almost an entire straightaway ahead of the 00. Right now, he's running clearly faster laps right now. Dustin Stallings running a 23.227 in comparison to the 15's 23.887. He's running about half a second to a little bit more than half a second faster each lap. The 00 is definitely cranking down and trying to get to that 15, but like we said, I mean, if the 00 is that far away from the 15, we're just going to know how far the 75 of Johnny Wood Jr. would be.
Definitely is going to be quite an interesting situation, as now you see Osmer going past the 91 there, as that was not a battle for, the 81 of Evan Patenko. That wasn't a battle for position, but the 15 definitely wanting to get ahead. As any air that you can be ahead of, it will be a big advantage. The car ahead of him, looks like it was Zachary King. The 51 had issues. He runs up on Sam Dyer right in the back of the 35. Now that's going to allow the 15 to go around the top 3 wide, and Sam Dyer has got to be saying, get me out of here.
Yeah, absolutely. That 35 almost saw the outside wall, but good attentive. 35 going down to pit road. Yeah, he actually had a meatball flag, so he's required to go down pit road here. But the 15 machine, good heads up by him. He went way up by that outside wall and went right around both of those guys battling. But right now, I'm honestly just curious to see how this works out. The 75 still staying out, 14 laps to go. Zach, I think it's getting to the point where he's just going to run it dry.
Yeah, definitely interesting. And I'm looking at Sam Dyer's car from all that. I don't know if it broke the rear suspension on his car or what, or he either blew a tire. That is literally the only thing I can come to a conclusion. And I will say, blowing tires here at Dover are a very common syndrome, especially lately. So this is not a surprise if it's that case. If it was the contact, it wasn't really any damage. I don't know. It was just a weird situation where it caused the suspension to break instead of really crumpling the fenders or anything. So definitely tough for Sam Dyer in the 35, who's had a very consistent season, just trying to maybe squeak his way into that into those playoffs. As we watched right here, the 6 of Andrew Rattel, he's in the top 5 with We check back to the 15, Ronnie Osmer. He's going to be back here in the 8th position, trying to make his way through on those fresher tires.
Yeah, and Zach, watching this 00 and number 15 battle, it's getting closer and closer. That 00 is hawking him down. It's about a 2-second gap right now. That 00 has caught down a ton, almost half a straightaway to him now. That 00 is running much faster laps. Last time for the 15 at 23.713. Dustin Stallings 23.7, so they're about even on times now. I don't know if these tires start to plateau at a certain point, but right now, these drivers between them, actually I take it back, the Dustin Stallings is about 0.3 faster that last time by, and he's getting closer and closer with about 10-12 laps to go. I think this 00 might catch him.
It's very possible it could play out that way, as right now Richard Olsen are going to slide up in front of the 00 of Dustin Stallings, and that is a battle this time for position. Is now Olsen going to have to roll over, let the 00 go by, as he's going to set his sights, like you said, under here on the 15, Ronnie Osmer, as they're going down the back straightaway. The tires definitely do start to plateau at some point, but I will say he has caught him so quickly that I think this is still going to be a situation where Stallings just going to be in the preferred position. But right now, still at this moment, with only 9 laps to go, Johnny Wood Jr. coming to pit road.
Goes down. 75, Johnny Wood Jr. goes down pit road. Now we're going to have the 3 of Dakota Camper. Let's see if he follows. He will not. The 3 of Dakota Camper stays out on the track. I'm not sure. I haven't been able to look at what the pit strategies have been so far, but right now the 3 of Dakota Camper way out in front with a 48 of Scott Fritz right behind him, 12 seconds behind him. Right now looking on board of the number 3 machine. He looks like he's rolling through it. I think he might run it dry as well, just to see where what the 3 might be able to accomplish. There's only 8 laps to go. I think it's too late. If you pit now, you know you're going to be all the way in the back of the field. I think the 3 is like we're either going to run dry or we're going to come home with the checker flag.
And it looks like he's saving some fuel here, clutching, and that is very interesting. So he's trying to make it on the fuel. Right now, Camper, I will say, to the freshest tires in the field, or freshest tires that are farthest up to Dustin Stallings, he's still a lap ahead. So he can really slow down a ton here to try to make it on fuel. We'll see, because he's also got 12.3 seconds back to Scott Fritz in the 48. So right now, the 3 of Camper definitely has an opportunity here to make it on fuel. It's just going to be, can he save enough, because the others definitely haven't been able to stretch it as far as he did.
Yeah, and watching on board of Scott Fritz, it doesn't look like he's clutching at all in comparison to what the...
Right on board. I don't know if we're having more issues playing us tonight, as Fritz here, like Hunter said, not clutching at the moment. So he is feeling a little bit better, maybe off on fuel, and maybe thinking he can make it to the end. So Fritz definitely in good position, because right now Dustin Stallings compared to him is coming out of 3 and 4. Fritz is already going into 3. So these drivers can give up a ton of time. 4 laps to go. I think this is going to be anybody's game here, and we'll see if Hunter's back.
I am back. I apologize. I completely lifted my finger off the push to talk button. But yeah, the 3 of Dakota Camper is really saving as much fuel as he can. He's trying to get every single drop. He's probably flipping switches inside of that car to get as much fuel as he can out of that machine. But yeah, I'm interested to see. These next three laps are going to be extremely interesting. The number 3 still going. He's at 166, 170 miles an hour going in 3 and 4. So he's still up to speed, just clutching it through the corners, going down about 130, but flooring it all the way through the straightaways. We still have about 2 laps to go. Yes, 2 to go here. And the 3 still rolling strong.
Definitely still rolling strong. 2 laps to go down the back straightaway. Dakota Camper, we were all watching the others in front of him, looking to see who could stretch it out, who could make it on fuel. Was it going to be the early stop from the 15, Ronnie Osmer, or would it be someone saving the fuel? It looks like they may go that way, as the white flag is out. 1 lap to go here over for the BRB Buck Kicker Cup Series, as Dakota Camper looks to save the fuel. He's got 13 seconds to the nearest car on track, and it's going to be no problems for the 3. He's going to get it done. He's going to get his first victory of the season, and Dakota Camper is going to celebrate with the victory here at the Monster Mile of Dover.
What an incredible race strategy by the 3 of Dakota Camper there, saving as much fuel as he could. And Zach, like you said, he had a whole lap of space to do it, so you might as well clutch it in every corner you had. Incredible showing from the number 3, but let's see if he has enough fuel here to do a burnout.
That's what's going to make it interesting, Hunter. When you got that fuel mileage win and you can come around, do the burnout, it's just that much more of a statement saying, I had plenty in the bank just in case something did go wrong. As we'll see the 56 of Richard Wolsifer fly by here in the scene, but it's going to be the 3 Dakota Camper who was the man who got it done here tonight on such a smart strategy to save the fuel. The 3 gets his first victory of the season and burns it down for us here at Dover, just showing Hunter that he had plenty.
More than plenty. An incredible strategy by the 3, and I believe the 15 is his teammate helping burn him down with him there. An incredible, just very smart way to go about things. He didn't really battle very hard with much of the leaders today, but he said, I'm just going to go in here, I'm going to just fly under the radar, I'm going to save my fuel, and I'm going to take it to victory lane, burning it down in front of all y'all.
What a job by him, getting congratulated by his teammate Ronnie Osmer right there. As we're going to look to go to our post-race celebration, or they have their post-race celebrations. We're going to go get set up for our post-race interviews and talk to our top 3 drivers and possibly a spotlight driver. So make sure you stay with us here as we take a quick break and get ready for those post-race interviews. All right, we are back here, folks, for Freaky Fast Broadcasting in the BRB Butt Kicker Cup Series. Is what a finish it was to Dover tonight. It was one all about the strategy. Who could get it right? Who could get it wrong? Well, it was the driver in the 3 machine, a Dakota Camper, who got it right. Let's talk to our race winner here tonight about his victory. Hey, Dakota, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, we got you.
Man, what an excellent job there to pull that one off. Take us through it. How did you come up with the strategy there to make it on fuel? When did you realize it was going to be a possibility? And when did you realize that you were going to be the man in position to win this thing?
Yeah, as soon as we come out of the pits there at the beginning of stage 3, I was looking at my fuel calculator and it said I was 2 laps short. And I was like, well, I know I can save 2 laps on 70-some laps or whatever it was. And I think we ended up going like 80-something. I'm not sure, but 84 laps. So, yeah, I just kind of was just trying to get a little bit of a gap to the car behind me. And then once I started getting ahead a little bit of Scott, I was just clutching every lap for probably the last 60 laps into every corner. And, yeah, I had enough to come back around and get a burnout. I really wasn't sure the 75 there, he stayed out a lot longer than everybody else. I was like, I didn't think he was going to be able to make it, but he pitted with 10 to go. And at that point, I knew as long as we didn't have a caution, we were good.
Definitely was a wild one there coming down to the end and how that all played out, man. That was a great heads up job by you to stay on top of that strategy and make the right call to save the tire or the fuel and the tires too, because I know some people were definitely going to be worried about those tires making it to the end. And Dakota, I mean, how was that? Because it was a stark difference from, the end of stage 2 there to the end of the race. I mean, we seen there was a lot of yellow flags that kind of plagued the early half, and we didn't get many green flag runs. How did you adapt in that final run to be able to really stay on top of it all the way to get to that end?
Well, I was just trying to not push out of the corner. I think was the biggest thing, was the right front, and just trying not to get to the throttle too early. A lot of those guys were, arcing it in high and then coming down low and getting a big run off. But I was just trying to not get to the throttle too early, and hopefully I had enough to kind of hold them off on corner exit. But yeah, it was just really just corner exit made a big difference.
Definitely seemed that way, Dakota. Congrats on the win again here tonight, man. It was an excellent job to pull that off. Next week, we're going to be heading off to the Indy Oval House. So how do you feel about that? Because definitely a interesting track here coming up on the schedule with a few others too.
Yeah, I'm not real sure about the Indy Oval. It's been a while since I've run it, but I'm running a Thursday night league, and we're actually running the Indy Oval this Thursday. So I'll get some extra laps this week. So hopefully we'll have a good race next week and get another top 10. We're trying to. My season's been so up and down. I've had a couple of really good races and a lot of really bad ones. So I've climbed my way back up into 10th, I think. So hopefully next week at Indy we can just have another solid finish and keep that playoff spot.
Definitely will be looking forward to seeing how you do next week, Dakota. Before we let you get out here and go celebrate this victory, anybody wants to shout to, man?
Yeah, I got a bunch. It's been minutes I've had an interview. I want to thank, the Lord above, giving me just the opportunity to get out here and race. My parents who watch my stream every week, they get on there. My mom thinks she's my crew chief, so big shout out to her. My wife, me and her are about to have a baby come in October, so we're just so excited for that. And just hopefully, this season's been a good one. And you guys up in the broadcast booth, appreciate y'all. And Adam and Steven really for stepping out and really making a good job doing race control. Appreciate those guys. And just hoping to have a good season. And then, off season, we're going to have a baby. So we're excited.
Well, I'll tell you what, congrats on the win. Also, congrats on having a baby there, Dakota, to you and your wife. And you have a great night, man, and go celebrate this thing.
Thank you, guys.
All right, there you heard from our race winner tonight, a Dakota Camper. What a job by him. He knew right from the end of stage 2 what strategy he was going to play, and it really paid off well for him. But we also got some other big names up here to talk to, and we're going to talk to our driver who finished in that second spot. It was about 13 seconds back, but on the same strategy, the 48 of Scott Fritz is going to bring home a top 3. Let's hear from Scott. Hey, Sky and Zach up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, I tell you what, man, awesome job here tonight to pull off a top 3 finish from the 25th starting spot. Take us through it, because we just heard from Dakota about his strategy and the decision making that he did. How did your strategy come to play there, and when did you know you were going to be able to make it to the end?
Yeah, well, I'm kicking myself because I realized way too late. I was kind of figuring we were gonna have another caution, and I was just riding, and then they're about 30, 25 to go. I kind of realized I'm like 2.5 laps short, and I was like, I can probably save this, and the pace isn't falling off hardly at all. So um, you're not gonna really have to worry about the guys that are pitting and putting tires on, and so I started backing it up and clutching, and I ran out coming across the line at the finish, but Dakota knew right from the get-go, so he was clutching that whole run and was just able to roll away from us. So I was kind of begging on him running out, but he did a great job. He's really good at these fuel mileage races. It's always good when we get a race like this because it doesn't happen too often. So it was definitely a good change of pace.
Yeah, it definitely was a good change of pace, and that's kind of where I was going to go next. Is the beginning of the race, definitely yellow field and very much just short, quick little runs here and there. How did you stay on top of that once you got a full run pretty much there in front of y'all guys?
Yeah, I killed the wall in qualifying and started just about last, and we're able to just keep our nose clean, and we almost cracked the top 10 there at the end of the first stage, and then I put 2 tires on it and was able to hang on and finish 6th in the second stage to get our track position, and then we just kind of rode from there, and it ended up playing out the way it did, and I'm glad it did.
Definitely a good situation for you with how it did play out there, Scott. And, with this run right here, it did gain you 6 positions into the standings with the updated points. They just came out. So you moved up into 19th in the standings. How do you feel about heading into the next few weeks? We got the Indy, Oval, and Gateway, then Rockingham. So 3 very different and tough racetracks at that.
Yeah, I really honestly shouldn't be this deep in the standings. We've had a whole lot of bad luck and getting caught in a whole lot of other people's messes all year, and finally was having a good run up front last week at Charlotte, and then I ended up ruining it myself that week. So it's just been no luck this season, and our stage points are kind of helping us. We've got a ton of stage points, and they're kind of still keeping us in it. So hopefully we can just keep chipping away and try and get it there, get into the playoffs there at the end. We almost made it last season right at the end with a kind of a whole lot of bad luck last season too. So hopefully we can get this monkey off our back and start chipping away at it.
Well, definitely hope this is the right step in that direction for you, Scott, man. But before we let you get out here and go get prepared for the next few weeks, anybody wants to send a shout out to for your run here tonight?
Yeah, obviously CFM Performance, Vicente Salas, and Joe Galata, Evan C. Everyone at Full Tilt Sip Sports, Majulce Speed Shop, Sweet Victory, Victory Seats, Busy Corner Buggies, 6-1 Media, and then my wife and mom and dad for watching. My aunt, I know my great aunt's watching, so shout out to her, and obviously you guys in the booth for putting this on, and Adam and all them with BRB for dealing with us every week.
Definitely an awesome job here tonight from yourself, Scott. Congrats again on second, and we will catch you out there next week at the Indianapolis Oval.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that was our second place driver here tonight of Scott Fritz in the 48 machine. Did an excellent job to make up the fuel strategy late into the run. You heard from him. He didn't have it going very early, but he figured it out late and was able to bring home the second place finish by catching on. Now we're going to move on to our final driver of our post-race reviews here tonight. And that's going to be our top 3 finisher of Eric Jensen in the 88. And this is a big run for this 88 machine. Let's talk to him. Hey, Eric, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Well, man, excellent job here tonight to save the fuel, make it all the way to the end, and you pull off a top 3. How does that feel, man?
It feels great, man. This is actually my first podium in this league, so I'm excited and glad I was able to pull it off tonight.
Definitely an excellent job by you. First off, congrats again on your first podium. That is awesome to hear and was great to watch there. You started off well even too, starting in the 10th position. And when did you come to the mindset that you were going to have to save the fuel? Was it early that you noticed it, or did you kind of catch on later? Because we definitely had 2 drivers ahead of you that were in 2 different boats of the situation.
Yeah, I actually said something to my teammate Isaiah. It was about 50 laps left, and I was like, I think I actually may be able to save. And he was questioning how I was able to do that because I had right at think I had 49 laps, and he had 46, and he didn't think I'd be able to pull it off, and I was able to pull it off. So just started clutching there every corner, and I was able to save just enough. I had actually 2/10 of fuel coming to the line, so just enough to get me across the line.
Well, that is awesome to hear, man. That was a excellent job staying on top of that and noticing what situation you were in there to be able to pull off your first podium here. I mean, how does that feel for the momentum heading into these final few races of the regular season? Especially, we have some tough ones coming up. I mean, Indianapolis Oval, Gateway, and then Rockingham. So 3 really different and treacherous technical racetracks. How do you feel about heading into those?
I'm glad I got the podium here because I don't know that it'll happen at any of them tracks. Yeah, and as far as my playoff picture goes, I'm not sure how that's gonna end up turning out either. I think I'm too far out to really make a push, but hey, we'll see what we can do. Hopefully we can do good, and just got to see what it throws at us.
Well, tonight definitely was the right step in that direction, Eric. And congrats again on getting your first podium. Before we let you get out here and go celebrate that, though, anybody wants to send a shout out to for tonight's race here at Dover?
Yeah, first I gotta thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I gotta thank my wife and son for letting me do this. My teammates, this league, and then you guys up in the booth. You do a great job.
We thank you. Appreciate that very much, Eric. Congrats on the podium, man, and we'll catch you next week at the Indianapolis Oval.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, fellas.
All right, folks, there you heard it from your top 3 driver. First time top 3 driver 2 here at the BRB Buck Kicker Cup Series. So congrats to Eric. That is awesome to see him get that, that 3rd place podium and get right up there in the mix. But that was pretty much the conclusion of our post-race interview. Shout out to those top 3 drivers tonight. It was a pleasure to talk to those 3, and we'll go ahead and step into our official results to see where your favorite drivers finished out tonight. As you see, of course, Dakota Camper saving the fuel, pulls off the first victory of the season for himself in that 3 machine and gets that really, really crucial victory. Second place, there goes to Scott Fritz. We heard from him also. Eric Jensen, first time podium in 3rd position. Andrew Rattel there in that 4th spot in the 6th machine. Dustin Stallings going to be the first driver that did pit. So he's going to end up in a top 5 position still. So our points here, once again, consistency is really being the name of the game for him. 6th is going to be Ronnie Osmer. 7th is going to be Johnny Wood Jr. 8th is going to go to Brendan Maddox. 9th is going to be Isaiah Sutherland. And rounding out the Freaky Fast top 10, it's going to be Zachary Brandvold. And Hunter, as we look through the rest of this finishing order, definitely some interesting nights for a few of these drivers and a tough night for a few farther even down the list.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of big names that showed up, and there's a lot of big names that definitely did not have the night they wanted. I know the 42 of Dylan Yeager was just really fighting right from the get-go and just really had struggles and eventually just had to put his car behind the wall and into the garage. We had a lot of drivers like the 00 of Dustin Stallings, who just was consistent all day long, and his results showed. And we had drivers we weren't expecting to be able to stretch the run all the way out for a fuel run. And we had a winner that a first-time winner this week at Dover. It was an incredible race from start to finish. Drivers who were aggressive, who learned really quickly that the Monster Mile does not play games. And there's drivers who rolled their dice, gambled, and they eventually won with the 777s. As you take the 3 cars to take his winnings all the way to Vegas with that amount of luck and strategy.
Definitely, they definitely need to do that. And they ain't got too far too. They can go to the Dover Downs, and I'm pretty sure you can go there. You can do some gambling if you want to do it. So you might as well take your luck there. So maybe the drivers that didn't find the luck on the racetrack will find their truck outside the track. So good luck to them, and maybe next week even at the Indianapolis Oval, that will be the place for them to turn it all around. But what a night it was, like Hunter said. Excellent racing all around here from the BRB Buck Kicker Cup Series. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to join us for all the night, but I'm glad I was able to join in later. As you see there for a moment, our upcoming schedule. We'll talk more about that later. As like my producer saying, that is not correct, so don't go based off of that, folks. Definitely. So, but definitely an interesting night here. It was very, very fun to be able to come up here and call that green flag action there coming down at the end. You know, definitely started off a little bit yellow field. I was watching along with all you fans out there, but these guys cleaned it up, got it going, and really had an excellent end to tonight's race. And tonight's race also definitely want to give a shout out to also the sponsors, and because tonight also was the KC Athletics 250. So shout out to the sponsor of the race. Also want to give a huge shout out to all the sponsors who helped make it happen here at the BRB Butt Kicker Cup Series. Of course, Butt Kicker, their title sponsor. Make sure you go over to thebuttkicker.com and you can check out their haptic hardware and software that really delivers the most accurate and highest fidelity sim racing tactile feedback as possible. So go out there and check out thebuttkicker.com, and you will definitely not be disappointed. Head over to revsimshop2.com. You can check out some button boxes and stuff that Rev has in store for you there. Maddox Graphics also, if you want to get your iRacing paint schemes. Then you have the Performance Ford or Food Group, so make sure you check them out, as they do an excellent job to provide food to families and customers all around the world. So again, thank you to all the sponsors who help make it happen here at the BRB Butt Kicker Cup Series. It's been a pleasure to call the action so far and have Hunter Hayward join us up here too tonight, with giving Robert Moyer Jr., our producer, a little bit of a break to actually be able to produce and not have to call everything. So definitely, I know a sigh of relief from him there, and also great to have you up here, Hunter. I mean, any final thoughts from you before we get headed out of here tonight and get ready for next week at Indy? Because I tell you what, Dover was wild, but Indy is going to be even more of a challenge, I think, for these drivers next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Noticing how the driving was today at Dover, with the aggressive driving and the amount of drivers that push their cars to their absolute limit, I would expect the exact same in Indianapolis, especially a track where the walls come up just as quickly as they do at Dover. I think the side-by-side driving will turn aggressive, and I think some drivers will really push the limits of their cars, especially with this new draft package, Zach. These cars are very hard to pull away, so we'll see a lot of tight, action-packed racing like we kind of saw at Pocono with iRacing a few weeks ago. So I would expect a lot of tight, action-packed racing like we saw today as well at Indianapolis. I'm looking forward to it, and I really think this was an incredible race today at Dover, and it was an incredible race from start to finish with all the different strategies we saw play out, and congratulations to the three teams, their victory today.
Yeah, definitely congrats to Dakota Camper. Definitely cannot forget about that excellent job by him to get the fuel strategy right, get his first victory of the season. But next week, like we were talking about, we head to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, so make sure you don't miss out on that, as we'll be back here, of course, for the next few weeks on Tuesday nights while we help these guys out here and get their season getting ready to get to those playoffs, because it's going to get wild here, I know, for these guys once they get there. So it's going to be a fun time closing it out. Also, make sure tomorrow night, if you ain't got nothing going on, make sure you go check out the WSSR Cup Series, as they're going to be heading to the Charlotte Motor Speedway Roval. I'm one of the drivers out there, and I can tell you what, it is a handful. We're literally driving on pogo sticks around that place, so it is going to be very, very interesting to see us bounce around every little curb and bump that the Charlotte Motor Speedway Roval has in store for us. So it is going to be a wild night, and also only nearing 2 races to go with those drivers with their playoffs. So it is getting down the crunch time for them. Same for here for the BRB Butt Kicker Cup Series with the Next Gen Cup Series car. So if you like Next Gen Cup Series action, this is the place to tune in. And actually, I can even say this: we will be actually on next Monday, we'll be with the Xfinity cars too. We'll be with the Trinity Racing League. So it is going to be cool to have 3 leagues back next week, and it's going to be some fun action, of course, here on Freaky Fast Broadcast. So if you haven't subscribed, hit that like button yet. Make sure you do that so you can show your appreciation not only for the broadcast here tonight, but tune into the future ones that we can bring to you. So again, thank you to everybody who tuned in here tonight. My name was Zach Hall. Thank you to Hunter Hayward for joining me up here in the booth. Same for Robert Moyer up here producing everything and bringing all the action here to Freaky Fast. As we always say, God bless everybody. Peace out.